Being able to hold a non-dual awareness, which is similar to being in a meditative state, one where you can still function and do things, but the mind is not running the show, is really key to becoming conscious of and seeing and sensing energy when giving bodywork sessions. When practicing bodywork from a state of non-dual awareness, we are simply operating from a deeper state of consciousness, aware of our subconscious, higher self and those of others. What the Polarity framework helps us to do is to bring our mind to a place where this non-dual awareness is attainable, where our default responses are non-judgmentalness, interconnectedness, acceptance, diversity, and mainly from our healthy mature, so love-based, not fear. In understanding Kundalini, we often use the metaphor of two snakes, Ida and Pingala, a masculine snake and a feminine snake. Some people say that once all of our chakras are aligned, then these two snakes weave up our spine through our energy centers, giving us siddhis, yogic powers, or enlightenment. Others say it is the polarity between these two snakes moving through each of our chakras that activates them more, and thus people experience early or premature Kundalini risings with detrimental effects such as mental health issues or what some people describe as a dark night of the soul. These experiences can lead into addiction, negative behaviors, and when we are not ready for them, the term Kundalini syndrome is also used when an early rising creates very obvious negative effects in the body, such as posture problems, physical issues, mental illnesses, and uncontrollable body movements. The Polarity framework, our metaphoric snakes, Ida and Pingala, are creating a similar energy to sexual energy. Sexual energy makes us feel more alive, creative, and inspired for life because the other person's polarity is charging us, just as Ida is charging Pingala and Pingala is charging Ida. In the advanced levels of Kundalini bodywork, we are learning to work with our energy system to give a helpful polarity to another person without giving of our own energy or taking theirs, or losing ourselves in sexual desire. It takes a lot of self-discipline, dedication, and care for the other person's healing and transformation when levels of sexual energy are involved, to hold a space where the line between healing energy and sexual energy is quite thin. This is why when we need to work with a self-development model, such as the Polarity framework, purifying ourselves and doing our own shadow work must come first. In Kundalini bodywork, we are offering this polarity for another person without our own sexual charge, by first ensuring that we are whole beings ourselves, able to run energy through both our masculine and feminine pathways in all of our energy centers, self-sufficient, not needy or codependent. Thus, we have to work with and develop our minds with tools like the Polarity framework that gives us the mental, non-dual understanding on the personality level. Meditation is good for this too, but few people are likely to reach a full and embodied state of non-dual awareness or enlightenment, whereas aligning our mind to the Polarity framework allows us to act or react to situations in a much more mindful way, as if we had partially achieved this permanent non-dual state. By developing our internal polarity and becoming whole does not mean our journey ends here. What the framework is teaching us and often encouraging us to do is to go back into our immature and our shadow traits, doing our shadow work, so our mature traits have more depth and meaning to them. It's important to remain sovereign in this process while acknowledging that we cannot do it all alone and other people, community are really important. Once we can activate our own energetic bodies without codependency issues, then connecting with someone else on a romantic or partnership level takes a whole different meaning. And again, we are all unique with different lessons to learn in relationships, So there is no one right way to have a relationship or to relate to another person. Activating our own energetic bodies means having a healthy chakra system. If you decide that a certain energy center is more masculine or feminine for you, then this is totally fine. It's your preference. But by developing all of them and applying the framework on each of our energy centers, on the mental level, yes, each of our energy centers, even the feeling ones, have a mental level, we see that our root, sex, power, heart, communication, third eye, and crown can all have masculine and feminine, mature, immature, and shadow expressions in healthy and unhealthy ways. This gives us a way to not only make these centers healthy, so energy runs through them, but it also allows us to create the connections between our mental, emotional, energetic, and physical bodies so that we can truly integrate. In this way, we can treat the polarity framework as a fractal pattern, a pattern that repeats over and over again on every level of abstraction. Nearly everywhere we look in life, we will be able to see and better understand how polarity and duality, or even non-duality, are dancing together in our psychology, emotions, relationships, and even in the environment and structures that govern us in businesses and politics. We could talk for hours about what is mature and immature, masculine and feminine, but really we are learning that this does not matter as much as ensuring we are always conscious of both the polarities and dualities at play. Since we have to define something as something, in the polarity framework we give a starting point of masculine and feminine traits that you are free to change to fit your beliefs and life experiences. At the end of the day, just remember that the more you can truly embody these mature, healthy expressions in your daily life without fear or suppression of your shadow, the more access to power you will give yourself, and the more Kundalini will flow through your life. The next step in using the polarity framework is in talking therapy, helping someone else recognize what is not aligned in their life, and how to work with both the polarity framework and their energetic and physical bodies. I call the talking part of my sessions non-dual therapy, and it really allows the person's mind to integrate with the changes that they are creating in their bodies. So once you have mastered using the framework in your own life, it can be really beneficial to support others to use it in theirs.